Boneheaded Boaters. When you let Seabees move a boat around, things does not go well.
One thing in boating is inevitable. If you boat long enough out there on the water, eventually you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to need some assistance. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit about that today. Welcome back, guys, to this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. One of the first places you may find yourself in need of a little assistance out on the water isn't really even on the water. That's at the sweet and glorious boat ramp, the king of comedy and boating itself. The possibilities are endless for the kind of assistance you could need here. I mean, seriously, we could sit here all day just trying to ponder the types of things that could go wrong at the boat ramp, and I swear, if we did them all, list them in the comments below, we still wouldn't hit every single one. It feels like every week I see something new go wrong at the boat ramp that I never even thought about, and we wind up seeing new and more inventive waves of people trying to get their boats to and from the boat ramp itself. Of course, one of the most common ways you may see people needing assistance at the boat ramp is going to be getting that boat in and out of the water. I mean, you never know. We see it all day long on the old internet forums. Everybody asking, hey, can my 4Runner tow my 6,000 pound boat even though it's only rated to tow 5,000 pounds? I only tow on flat land, but that's just not true, bro. The boat ramp's not flat. And if you wind up doing this, you may find yourself in a situation where you need a little assist on the ramp to hopefully get the boat out of the water, but hopefully you're lucky and you don't need the assist in getting the 4Runner out of the water as well. But of course, you can always give her hell and see what happens. Now, just because you gave her hell and got her out of the water doesn't mean you might not need some more assistance on the way home, especially if you forget to toss the straps on the back of the boat. Now, being on land's only one of the times you might need assistance. Of course, a lot of your time hopefully will be spent on the water, and you're likely going to find some spots where you need some assistance there as well. And this is one of those ones that gets a little spicy sometimes, and the reason that is because everybody's got a little bit of a differing opinion on this, but the reality is one of the rules of the water is if you see somebody in need of assistance out on the water, you're supposed to try and render that assistance if you can do so safely. But everybody's version of rendering assistance is different, and this is actually one of the first things that we were taught in captain's license school, was that if you come across anybody on the water who does need assistance, one of the first things you need to do is stop and assess the situation and try and determine what kind of assistance they need, or if they really need assistance at all and are able to help themselves. A lot of times you may run across situations where you think you can help, but all you're really going to do if you jump in is possibly hinder the situation more. Now, of course, there are going to be some other situations where you see people out in the water who may not actually need assistance, but you decide you're going to jump in and help anyway. If you do, just make sure you do so safely where nobody will get injured. And also, you need to think outside the box. Too many times, one of the biggest mistakes I see people make on the water when they're trying to render assistance is doing what they think is right, but it actually isn't. So for example, you come across somebody who needs a tow, but you have no experience towing, you don't have the proper equipment. Well, all you're doing is putting yourself and your vessel in danger by trying to offer somebody that tow. Rendering assistance can mean just calling the towboat to come tow the other person and maybe hanging out with them while you wait on the towboat to get there. Now, I know this is a tough one to do. A lot of people are problem solvers and they want to dive right in and offer the solution immediately to the problem that's at hand. But once again, diving in and trying to tackle a situation or a problem on the water you're not 100% prepared to do or qualified to do can have some pretty bad end results. And one of the problems with these end results going wrong is if you're the person who jumped in to try and assist, maybe save a vessel, and things go wrong, you are the person ultimately in the end who can be held responsible for the end outcome. So anytime you're out on the water and you run across somebody who does need assistance, you need to stop and assess the situation. Try and determine if it's a life or death situation. If it is, you probably want to jump in and help. If not, the assistance you render more than likely should probably be a call to the pros and let them handle it and just assist by hanging around if needed. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Amanda Harley 7, Damon Thompson, KY Tofu, Matt No Chat, Nortec Chick, Miguel Lacio 5, Philip Belcher, Pink Jet 007, Tiny Dino Farmer, and Tozone Pros did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.